Hey everybody, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about my WAM hidden bumper. I get a lot of questions about this thing, like pretty much every time I post a picture of the truck. Everybody's like, what's that bumper? How much does it cost? How did you mount the winch? How does it mount to the frame? That sort of stuff. So today I'm just going to kind of sit in front of the truck. I'm going to talk you through the whole thing. I'm going to show you how it mounts. I'm going to answer any questions that you guys have. So definitely, if by the end of this video you still have questions, just post up in the comments below and let me know what you want to know, and I'm happy to answer it or run out to the truck and get you an answer. So I think this video is going to be super helpful for everybody with an Xterra. Before we dive in too deep though, I did want to mention that I do have a couple of featured partners who are awesome, and you guys should definitely check them out. Overland Addict is a great company owned by a great guy that sells a ton of overlanding stuff. There's a link down in the description, so check them out if you're into overlanding gear. More Overland Expo is another one. They have an expo coming up in February of 2021. If you click below, you can pre-register for that so you can be notified when tickets come available. Third Last US Bags. So they make overlanding specific bags, and they are just awesome quality. It's run by a guy that does overlanding, so he knows what he's doing, and they're made just for people like us. So check them out. And then last but not least, Northology Adventures. They do custom guided tours, basically guided events, and they also have a free overlanding magazine. So check them out in the description as well. So without further ado, let's dive into the video and talk about the WAM hidden bumper. Alright guys, so I've been getting a lot of questions about my front bumper. Like pretty much every time I post a picture of the truck, someone says, hey, what is your front bumper? Where did you get it? How much was it? That kind of stuff. So I just wanted to talk through it. And obviously I want to start by saying this is not an ideal setup, right? But my truck is 15 years old and I really didn't care. It was becoming not my daily anymore. So I kind of said, look, I want to get the solenoid up as high as I can. I want it to fit in the bumper the way that it is. I didn't want to relocate it. You can buy relocation kits with some big wire and move it. And if you really wanted a clean look, you would probably want to do that. Again, there was a fairly significant cost in that. I mean, not a ton, but 50 to 100 bucks, somewhere in that ballpark for that. And I just didn't want to spend that money. Like, it wasn't worth it to me. Having it up like this, though, does actually make it really easy to plug in the controller. I mean, it's just right there in the front of the bumper. I kind of think it looks aggressive, even though it does look kind of crappy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know, it may not be everyone's bag of, what's the expression? It may not be everybody's bag to have their thing like that. But I do have a Smittybilt 9500 in here. I've got a Factor 55 flat link, which is really nice. This Fairlead is just a cheapy generic one. I'll put a link to it down below, but it looks really nice and it works perfectly fine. It's about 20 bucks, I believe, on Amazon. The bumper itself is a WAM hidden bumper. So you can kind of see it's got these wings. If I can get in here and show you. It's kind of got these wings that stick out behind the plastic bumper over here. Which is kind of nice. It gives you some more protection against, you know, anything that you might run into. It does mount, so you can see there's a couple bolts that go there on the sides into the frame, and then it also mounts down on the bottom. This is basically where your OEM hooks would go. So by default, Xterras come with one hook, but they've got spots for two. So basically I had to buy a couple of bolts because I already had a couple from the original hook. Removed the hooks, mounted this bumper. It does have two D-ring shackle mounts on the front of it. It's also got some tabs for lights. My thing is, though, since the winch is in there, I don't really want to put lights in front of it. I just feel like they're going to get in the way, especially with my solenoid mounted there. It would definitely get up against it. So for now, I'm not doing anything with it. I'm just leaving them alone. Mine is not powder coated, mine is bed lined, and it's held up pretty well. Again, this bumper's been on for about a year and a half probably, and I've never repainted it. So you can see that I had my high lift mounted up here for a minute, for like a month or so, just because I had to actually use it, and then it was kind of just in the way. I didn't want to put it back up on the roof rack, and also once I mounted my DIY rooftop tent up there, there wasn't a spot for it anymore, so I mounted it to the front bumper temporarily. But I didn't like how it looked, and it also stuck out, you know, 6-7 inches past the front of the bumper, and I was worried about taking out the back of somebody's car parking in a parking lot, so I just removed it. But so again, this bumper is really fantastic. It's really high quality, 3/16 inch steel. Again, it's held up really well. It holds the winch perfectly. It was easy to mount in there. I actually, when I had the whole bumper off, I went ahead and mounted the winch and everything in there, and it is a tight fit with the stock bumper. But what I ended up doing is, if you have an Xterra, you're familiar with Xterras, there's basically a piece that goes across here. And previously, I used to have a 20-inch light bar in here, and then the stock sort of plastic piece that went down below it. So what I did was, to keep it clean, I just followed the lines of the bumper, and I just cut out the whole middle section. I think it gives it kind of an aggressive look. And the only sort of downside of that I will say is it makes these sides sort of so that they are a little bit loose. My solution to that, again, not being the perfect solution, but I'm telling you what I did, not really caring that because the truck's so old, I actually put a couple of self-tapping screws up from the plastic bumper on the corners into the bottom of the fender so that it would sort of hold that steady and not just rely on the clips to hold it. And again, it's been about a year and a half, and everything's holding perfectly, so no complaints about that. But again, just wanted to kind of give you guys a quick sort of walk around of the bumper, show you how it mounts to the truck. Of course, if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Even if I don't know, I can come out and look at the truck. So if you guys want to know anything about how this mounts or anything about the bumper, feel free to post up in the comments below and just ask, and I would be happy to answer. All right, guys, so that was the WAM hidden bumper. Again, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that gave you a lot of good information. Hopefully answer some questions for you, because again, I know I get a lot of them. As I mentioned earlier in the video, if you have questions about the bumper, just comment down below, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I'll reply to everybody. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you'll click the subscribe button, click the bell to be notified when a new video drops. I do make a ton of videos about overlanding gear, do-it-yourself stuff, modifications, Xterra specific content. So if that's something you're into, definitely click that subscribe button. Also, there are links down below to my Facebook, Instagram, and my podcast. So I do all those things as well. So if you want more Xterra content, more overlanding content, more gear reviews, that kind of stuff, definitely consider subscribing and joining the conversation wherever you feel like it. And I'll look forward to talking to you later. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk to you next time.